Predator Badlands is out in theaters, latest movie in the long-running action science fiction series or franchise. The third in a row directed by Dan Trachtenberg, following Prey and Predator Killer of Killers, which came out earlier this year. This stars Demetrius Schuster-Koloamatangi as the Predator and Elle Fanning. And for the first time in the series, we follow a Predator as the protagonist. Dek is a young, inexperienced Yautja, the runt of his clan that nobody respects and believes in. He goes to an extremely dangerous planet filled with all sorts of deadly flora and fauna in order to kill an unkillable beast and bring back its head as a trophy to finally prove himself to his clan. But once there, he runs into a talkative android from Weyland-Yutani, the famous company from the Alien franchise, and they end up reluctantly joining forces. So I have to say I was pretty hyped up for this film after the previous two entries because Dan Trachtenberg seems to really know what he's doing with this franchise and effectively breathed a new fresh life into it. And I'm happy to report I was not disappointed in the slightest. This was everything I wanted. Lots of fun, lots of good violent action, some unexpected but natural humor, and just very tight execution. I think that what works about the film is that it is competently written, in the sense that, one, it manages to successfully flip the script and make the Predator the underdog that we end up rooting for instead of the usual overpowered killer. Two, it has an unexpected amount of heart in its theme of found family. And three, it is very economical in terms of story elements that it introduces and uses, by which I mean that every single obstacle and problem that Dek faces on the planet in the first and second acts of the film end up coming back in some way in the third act as either part of his arsenal or lessons. He figures shit out about the environment he's in and his enemies and learns to use that in the future, resulting in a really, really cool final act. I would also add that the movie never cheats in the sense that if there is a situation where one character clearly has the upper hand and should immediately win and end the fight, they do. It just happens without artificially overdrawing things. Nobody has plot armor, put it this way. I think the twist with the monster is very well executed, and it's satisfying when it sort of clicks for you what's going on. I think Elle Fanning is a great foil to the Predator as well as a comedic presence. Special effects look solid. If I had to complain about anything, two tiny little things come to mind. One, it is obvious when Dek parts ways with Bud, the little cute sidekick monster thing, that Bud will come back in a significant way in the end. But when that happens, it is a bit underwhelming because he just sort of runs into her in the middle of an arming up montage, which feels like an afterthought. And I thought that could have been done slightly better, more dramatic somehow. And two, and this is a very personal thing, I was a bit sad that despite bringing in Weyland-Yutani, we didn't really get the classically analog technology from the Alien films. The shitty black-green computer screens, the ever-present tubes and cables, the dirt and grime and the worn-out quality of the tech. And I get that the film is set far in the future of both franchises. It's apparently the farthest we've been so far. So it makes sense that everything is better and more shiny and more modern. But, I like that tactile feel of the retro-futuristic tech, and I was just missing it. But those are both minor complaints in an overall extremely satisfying movie. For my money, Dan Trachtenberg is 3 out of 3 when it comes to the Predator franchise, and I'm really excited for wherever he takes the series next.